The Cleveland Browns are 2-1. They beat the Pittsburgh Steelers at home. Let's go, Browns. Welcome into the Cleveland Browns Report by Chat Sports. Matthew Peterson here, possibly a bit overserved. We had a live watch party during the game. Join us next week, next Sunday against Atlanta. And the Dog Pound, they made me pay with the Super Chats. But we're going to break down this game. I'm going to do my best to really give you my raw takes and analysis just fresh off of the game here. So, we'll also incorporate some of the comments from people in the chat right now from our live watch party. But the Browns, 29-17 win over the Steelers. It was 14-13 at the half. I tweeted out, at that moment, follow me, at Matthew Petey. This Joe Woods defense is bend, don't break, but it actually still breaks. Right? It's they get close to the goal line, and then they still score. And it's a little bit of, well, what the heck is the point of giving up all that chump change if you're going to let them score anyway? Second half, they responded. Only gave up 3 points. Technically a defensive score thanks to Denzel Ward at the end. But it's not a finished product. Don't come away from this game thinking the defense is solved. It's not quite solved. In fact, on the injury front, it's concerning. Anthony Walker left the game with a knee injury, was carted off. The Browns are calling it a knee sprain for the time being. They'll be getting an MRI on that left knee tomorrow. I'm officially concerned. This Browns defense has struggled with communication so far this season. And you're telling me they're going to take away the guy who wears the green dot and calls most of the plays potentially? That's concerning. JOK and Taven Bryan also dealt with injuries during the game. On the good news side of things, the Browns have 10 days until Atlanta next Sunday in Week 4. But going through this game, a couple things really jump out to me. One, I would clap it up for David and Joku. Let's put some 85s in the chat right now for him. Because he was quiet the first 2 weeks. And he's a top paid tight end in the NFL. And finally, Njoku looks like a tight end the Browns paid the big money for. That was awesome to see. 9 grabs, 89 yards, and a touchdown. Finally got in bounds, too, on that score. That was great. And then you also got Amari Cooper, who should not be forgotten. The first Browns wide receiver to have back-to-back 100-yard receiving games since you can probably guess. 2013 Josh Gordon. Nearly a decade since a Browns receiver. Let that really sink in. Nearly a decade since a Browns receiver had back-to-back 100-yard performances. It's not a tall order. It's not a tall ask. But it's been that tough. No shame to Juice. But Amari Cooper has been fantastic the last 2 weeks. That's going to be the trade of the century for the Browns. Basically a 5th rounder for number 2 right here. Let's go. Okay. Well, one second. Jeremy Beedling coming in here. We're doing our live postgame cut right now. Okay, well, there's no way I'm pressing more buttons. Jeremy, thank you, buddy. Back to the program, though. Okay. The Browns defense. Actually, let's keep on the offense for a quick second here. Jacoby Brissett. Everyone watching right now, put your hand up if you have been surprised by the way Brissett has played since week 1. He has been accurate with the football. He hasn't been perfect. Stefanski hasn't dialed up plays to push the ball down the field all that much. But what he's asked of him, Brissett has delivered. Has he not? I have been wildly impressed with Jacoby Brissett the last 2 games. And if this is the Brissett the Browns get for 11 games this year, this is a 6-5 team. That's where you wanted to be. They've got some tough games coming up, but if they can just steal one of the Chargers, the Bengals, and the Ravens, and the Bucks. Make it even maybe 2. Deshaun Watson's going to walk into a great situation. Who, by the way, can resume team meetings and some workouts October 10th. So keep an eye on that right there. All right, we've got some stats to throw on screen here. So give me a moment here while we do that. But in the meantime, though, let's look at some stats from. Okay, no stats. They're not working quite well. That's okay though. So we got these right here. Let's go. Okay, thank you, Jeremy. Brown stats: total yards 376 yards, 205 passing, 171 on the ground, 6 for 16, and the penalties were not as infuriating as the pass. So, a lot of positives. And as for the Steelers, in case you're curious what they were able to do, less yards, 204 on the ground. Najee Harris exposed the Browns defense a little bit. He definitely showed that this Browns defense is not steel. Especially with Taven Bryan getting hurt. There were times, and frankly for most of the time, the Steelers' offensive line dominated the Browns' defense. Myles Garrett had one big hit on Mitch Trubisky, but outside of that, kind of tip your cap to the Steelers because their offensive line had been cheeks the first 2 weeks. But they pulled it together for week 3 against Cleveland. So they did a lot of good things on offense in terms of moving the ball with Najee Harris and kind of bullying the Browns up front. But ultimately, second half, the adjustments were made by Kevin Stefanski and company. And I don't think I can say the same for Mike Tomlin and crew. All right, before we get any further in this postgame show, I want you all who have not subscribed to make sure you go ahead and do so because we have the best Cleveland Browns coverage for you all season long. So make sure you are hitting that big red button as I hit all these buttons to make it happen and subscribe to the Browns Report. If you are looking for a Browns YouTube channel, look no further. This is it for you. Hit that subscribe button. Join nearly 13,000 strong, by the way. One of the fastest growing Browns YouTube channels. And you might get more post-game shows where I may be under the influence because we had a blast in our watch party. Following the win, when 000s hit, the champagne was popping, and we were having fun with Dirty Dog Bowls. Let's go, Browns! We have fun here. That's something you're interested in. This is the channel for you. All right, I've got some more thoughts I want to get to right now as we unpack this game even more here. So let's switch gears and talk about the defense for a little bit here. Because I don't think they're quite out of the woods. No pun intended, Joe Wood. I am happy to see that he gave up this obsession he has with zone defense and went more man. Denzel Ward had good and bad plays, right? Towards the end, he came up with big plays. But he has not looked like the second highest paid corner still. Martin Emerson, I don't think he is playing at a level where he will for sure keep Greedy Williams' job whenever Greedy gets healthy. Greg Newsome was relatively quiet today from what I gathered. That's pretty good when you're a corner and no one says your name. John Johnson and Grant Delpit still have a lot to improve on. Defensive line, they missed Clowney this week. A lot of attention went to Myles Garrett. And if that happens often. And you need someone else to step up when you get one-on-one coverage. Or one-on-one assignments, rather. Alex Wright, the rookie, just was not able to do that. So, the Browns on defense here got some things to improve on. They got to get better. I know I'm pretty excited after this 2-1 win, but I'm not going to go and say it's a finished product. We're all hunky-dory. Before we pack up and get on out of here, and I call an Uber, we got some comments I want to run through here. I like this one right now from my friend Chris Butts. Maybe a relative of Jake Butts. I don't know. That's a different last name. Grade Jacoby Brissett's 3 games in. Let me ask you guys to give the same grade. He's not like an A+ or an A, because that goes to Josh Allen and Patrick Mahomes, right? I'd give him a B+. I don't think that's all that crazy to say. He's made the throws that they've asked him to make. Next time, okay, when the Browns play the Falcons next week, I don't know how football savvy you are, but just watch and see the throws that Stefanski's asking Brissett to make. What kind of routes are the Browns running? They going deep often? Not really. Amari Cooper every once in a while. But they have not utilized Anthony Schwartz, for example, to extend the field. Which, by the way, had Anthony Schwartz scored late in this game, oh my God, that would have been the cherry on top. But I give him a B+. What do you give Jacoby Brissett? Grade him through 3 games like my friend Chris is asking me to do. I give it a B+. Let me know what grade you give it. One more comment, and then we're going to pack it up and let you guys enjoy the win, however you do so. From another OG at the channel, Dion Owens. Good job for Joe Woods playing more man than zone. Hopefully this is the start of something great. I agree. And this is sort of what I was mentioning earlier of you saw a transition, clearly. It was a short week. If you were expecting Joe Woods to walk in on Monday morning's meeting and go, everyone, burn your playbooks. We're going strictly man from here on out, you were going to be disappointed. So, Joe Woods made some adjustments. It's not a finished product. His defense kind of sucked in the first half, if we're being honest. The offense, I wouldn't say bailed it out, but it definitely erased a bad taste in your mouth from the first half. I'm still upset that Joe Flacco and Mitch Trubisky have played so well against this defense. I don't want to dampen the party, but what is Herbert, Lamar, and Joe Burrow going to do? I mean, that's 5 games. Toss in Tom Brady and Josh Allen, too. That's 7. Oof. Let's go Browns, though. All right. That is it for our post-game show. I really appreciate everyone that tuned in for our live watch party. We had a blast. And if you missed it, even if you're able to watch the game, I really encourage you to join our watch party in addition to that. It's the best way to take in Cleveland Browns football.